The drama wasn't so much whether he would win, right? It was how much he would win. And this, looking at this pie chart, really is answering that question. 75%, actually 75.1%, with more than half of the ballots tallied, is where we stand in terms of Vladimir's votes. Looking at his competitors, the communist candidate getting 11%, the liberal Democrat getting 7% here, and then 5 other candidates sharing this little 7% slice. Let's flip up the board because I want to show you how this compares on a historical context with the last 3 elections that Vladimir Putin has been through. You can see that it beats all others ever since 2000, where it was 53% here. Now, one other very important number is the turnout number. 60% is what the Russian Election Commission is saying is out there. But with that said, of course, the opposition voices have been rising. For example, Alexei Navalny, who's the opposition leader, a very popular person who's actually barred from running, has said that the numbers have been inflated by as much as 18%. And then Russian tycoon Mikhail Khodorkovsky is saying that there's a lot of ballot rigging that's actually been caught as well. But with that said, the official numbers here, one analyst is saying that Vladimir Putin now has a mandate from heaven with that 60% or more. And this is relative to the last time, which was just under that. So looking ahead, there's support, there's legitimacy here that Mr. Putin will try to use over his next 6 years.
Yeah, Ramy, how can you argue with a mandate from heaven? All right. Reality is he has another 6 years, but there's a chance it could actually be downhill because you have this 1-2 punch of U.S. sanctions, you have lower oil on the economy, perhaps. What's the situation on that front? Right.
There are definitely more negatives than there are positives, just in terms of what's been happening over the past 3 terms that he has had. Let's come on over to this side of the screen, because as we take a look at Mr. Putin voting presumably for himself in this election, let me run you through some really interesting things. For example, his target for state salaries, missed. His target for capital investment, missed. His target for labor productivity, missed. One other thing that he missed, #BTV 9369. This is looking at the GDP per capita of Russia in red versus Portugal's in white. Now, Mr. Putin wanted to make this comparison in 2000 during his first term to try to beat that. He never got there, and it's actually falling away, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen here. Something else that is also a weight, we have to look at currencies. The ruble, #BTV 5486. Under a weak dollar environment, even look at the movement of the ruble year-to-date for 2018. Almost nothing there. And looking ahead, when we expect that the geopolitical tensions between Russia, between the U.S., between the U.K. will not stop, we'll expect more weakness in terms of the ruble there. And finally, my last Bloomberg terminal chart, #BTV 2898. Got to talk about oil. As oil's fortunes go, so do Russia. When Brent crude spiked, we saw GDP growth also spike for Russia. But Brent is now down by about 6% just the past few months, that 2017 high. And looking ahead, we do know that the United States, of course, is going to have its U.S. shale output produce even record numbers, 11 million barrels a day, relative to Russia as well as Saudi Arabia, and it could be the most. So a lot of weights here, David, and 6 years that Mr. Putin will have to handle that.